What's something you saw as a kid but didn't realize was messed up until you were older? For me, it was the man in the blue jacket who used to sit at the end of our street every evening. I thought he was just someone's grandpa waiting for a ride. He'd wave at us kids when we passed on our bikes, slow and friendly, the kind of wave you'd get from a neighbor. He always had a brown paper bag, and I remember the way he'd tilt it toward his mouth like he was sipping from a soda. I was 7, maybe 8, and my mom always told me not to talk to strangers. But this guy didn't feel like a stranger. He was part of the neighborhood, a landmark almost, like the leaning stop sign or the yellow house with too many wind chimes. Sometimes he'd ask me about school. Once he called me by name, which I thought was cool at the time. I didn't realize how strange it was that he even knew it. One summer afternoon, I dropped my ice cream while walking past him. He called me over, said he had napkins in his bag. I remember his hand shaking slightly as he reached inside. But then my older brother, Matt, rode up on his bike and shouted for me to come on. The man's eyes went dark for a second, like I'd done something wrong by leaving. That was the first time I felt a knot of fear without knowing why. A week later, the man was gone, just disappeared. I remember asking my mom where he went, and she said, "Don't worry about him." Then, in that quiet, careful tone adults use when they are worried, she added, "He's not coming back." Years passed. The memory of him got buried under 1,000 others. School dances, learning to drive, leaving for college. Then, one night in my 20s, I was home visiting my parents, flipping through old local news archives online for a writing project. I stumbled across a headline from the year I was 8. "Local man arrested in connection with missing children case." My stomach dropped when I saw his picture. The same blue jacket, the same soft smile. They said he used to hang around playgrounds and bus stops, that he'd befriended kids in the area for years. My street, my neighborhood. For a long time, I just stared at the screen. I kept thinking about that paper bag, the way he'd hold it like something precious. It wasn't soda, it was whiskey. The article mentioned he was often drunk when police questioned him. And worse, inside that bag when they found him the last time, there was a child's bracelet.